Welcome to the AME television show. I'm your host, Jason Dowd. We got a great show for you guys today. Now, we're going to be going on a little adventure, and we're going to be meeting two great guests. I think you guys are going to really enjoy this. But before we get into anything, check out our website, www.theamemagazine.com. That is the AME experience, television, radio, and magazine. A lot of stuff up there for you, so just go check it out when you get a chance. It also has links to all of our social media networks and links to get our apps for your Apple or Android platform. We also have a newsletter, so there's a lot of ways to keep in touch with us and find out what's going on. But we have some news. All of our social media networks have broken apart. So we have created a AME experience, Instagram and Twitter. Facebook is still the same, but we decided it's best to keep it separate now, so we're going to take you on some different adventures that way. So check those out and like us, follow us, whatever it may be. Okay, so our first guest today is Jacqui Phillips. Jacqui is a #1 bestseller on Amazon for her book, and she's going to be talking to us about how we can reset our lives. That's what her book's all about. We saw her in Clearwater, Florida, and she's got some great advice I think you guys are going to really enjoy. Now, keep in mind, we did have a little bit of an audio problem during this particular interview, so we tried to fix it up as best as we can. I think it's passable, and I think you guys are going to really enjoy what she has to say. So we're going to go visit Jacqui in Clearwater, and we'll be right back after this. Hey everybody, we're here in Clearwater, Florida. I'm talking to Jacqui Phillips. She is a author, best-selling author on Amazon of Reset, and she's going to be talking to us about her book and some of the things that she's most passionate about. And she's actually down here doing a ministry, if I'm not mistaken, in Ocala. So tell us a little bit about your book and how you got into being an author.
So I became an author after living through 2 resets. I was encouraged by many people to share my story. I would definitely tell you I never in a million years planned on writing a book. And I actually, by going through my reset, I opened myself up to this creativity. You know, I definitely became like a conduit to creativity, like by clearing that path of negative. And I wrote a children's series while I was writing Reset. So I was basically writing 2 things at once, which is totally crazy. And Reset is about resetting your life. It's about finding your happiness switch again, turning it on, and if you never had it or didn't know where it was, searching for it. And it's the encouragement of knowing that you're never too old or young to start over, that it takes courage, it takes faith, it takes hard work, but it's so worth it. My reset did not happen overnight. You know, in the book I talk about 6 different resets, 6 essential resets that I went through, which were relationships, emotions, finance, appearance, faith, and fitness. And those were very important. I started with fitness because I woke up and one day I looked in the mirror and I didn't know who was looking back at me.
I know that feeling.
Yeah.
I know that feeling.
I didn't know who that girl was, and I thought, where's that girl that I always knew that was happy, that was in shape, that had a zest for life? She'd like been kidnapped. And she was like trapped in this other body. And that, in that moment, you know, we all like are in denial. I think we're in denial of the circumstance of our life that's making us unhappy, that forces us to need a reset.
Sure.
And the first step for reset was like that moment. There's that pivotal moment of truth when you're like, I need a reset. I need to decide what I'm going to reset first, that I can be accountable for, that I can be successful at. So then that way it starts a domino effect. And then anything else in your life, you'll have the energy to do that too. So it's like, you don't want to say like, I'm going to lose 30 pounds in a month. Like, that's going to be very, very challenging.
Yeah, and taxing on your body and everything else, time and everything else.
Taxing, and also you may fail. So you want to set yourself up for goals that you can attain and be successful at, because then you build confidence.
Sure.
So then you're confident as you're resetting. And before you know it, 6 months has passed, you've lost 30 pounds, you've kept it off, you've learned different tools of healthy eating and living.
Right.
And then you start maybe focusing on some other resets. And it's not a book about weight loss. It's a book about spiritual weight loss. It's the things that happen to us that weigh us down, the things people say to us, how they put us down. We start to believe those as truths when they're really profound truths. Our non-profound truths are really those things. Profound truths are the things that are like, people are like, I'm 5'9.5", I have blonde hair, those things. But someone telling you you're not smart, you're never going to amount to anything, whatever those things are that you've started to believe of someone else's perspective, those things weigh you down, they create spiritual weight, and then you get on this hamster wheel. And one day you wake up like I did, and I looked in the mirror, I didn't know who that person was, because I was living this very unhappy life that I don't ever really remember signing up for.
So how do we get on one of these type of lives? I mean, I know that we never ask for things, but we always seem to just end up there sometimes. How does that happen?
Because when we don't love ourselves, we don't know how to say no.
Good call. Yes. Yeah. I know that too well.
And when you think of self-love, that's something I talk about a lot in the book. First you need to fly, which means first love yourself. And then you can bloom, which means believe, love ourselves max. Right? So those are the two acronyms I love to talk about because you can remember them. You can put a little stamp on your heart, But saying no is such a positive and powerful form of self-love. It's not taking 500 selfies and having this Instagram affair with yourself. It's saying no. It's getting enough sleep. So say no to going out and get enough sleep. Say no to maybe hanging out with that friend that's not a good influence. Just those simple basic things shift us. And then before you know it, you're off that hamster wheel.
That's
true. You're in a new life. And your reset has started, if not, is successful.
Your book has 6 different types of resets.
6 essential resets.
Do you have to do all 6?
No.
Okay,
Thank you.
Good.
Very good question, Jason. Very good question. So I was totally a hot mess, obviously, that I needed to reset all 6 categories. Hello. But no, but I will say this. You may, in the book I have thermometers. They're called the elements of truth. And you're able to look at where are you now and where are you going. And so maybe you're going to look at the relationship one and you're going to go, hey, I have great relationships. I don't really need to reset that. But you may gather information to help somebody else in that area of their life that maybe they need to reset on. But you might look at, your faith one. And you might say, I really need to work on my spiritual practice. I need to pray more, meditate more, whatever that is for you. And you might realize that your faith needs a reset. Or fitness. I started with fitness first because I was an athlete my whole life. And I knew that if I could find the strength in my body, and it didn't mean looking like I did when I was 20 years old, it meant just being strong and feeling good again and feeling like getting up off the couch or getting out of bed for the day and doing something positive. But I knew if I got my strength back, I would get my mind back, and I knew that all the weight would fall off and that weight was peak. It just happened to be physical weight that came off too. Yeah. But then people started falling, and it's funny because those negative relationships, the more you improve yourself, they go away anyway.
That's true.
People don't want to be around you.
That's true.
They just sometimes would rather be around misery that they like to feel better than or control or be able to put you down or whatever that is. But then once you're in your victory, they don't always want to be your friend.
That's true.
So.
I know people that have lots of friends. I mean, just engulfed with them.
Yeah.
And yet they're not to where they want to be. But they're yeah, but I'm popular. But are these people doing for you what you need to do to be where you want to be? And if they're not, is that really the situation you want to be in?
No, because they haven't learned the power of no. They just keep themselves so busy with all these friends and parties and whatever because they're not able to sit by themselves and think and relax and say to themselves, what is my purpose here? Why am I here? What gifts do I have to share with the world? We all have a unique divine purpose that we're given. Your gifts are different than my gifts. Your wife's gifts are different than my friend's gifts. You know, we all have like really unique gifts. And if we can tap into them and use that purpose, and when you have pain, use your pain to purpose. You're going to better the world.
That's true.
You'll touch a life, that life will touch another life. Before you know it, you'll be reset.
And now you're reset on relationships. That's not necessarily intimate relationships. It could be just friends with...
It could be friends.
Okay.
It could be family.
Yeah.
It could be work relationships.
Now, family's probably the hardest to deal with.
Totally. But the power of no can come into play very well with that. You know, you can't never talk... Well, I mean, people do, but I have very good relationships with people, but it's creating the right boundaries that work for you, that don't affect your soul and your spirit. And know how to say no and know when to say goodbye, you know? It's time for me to leave now, we'll do this again another day, you know, that kind of thing. So, yeah, but you're right, family relationships are hard.
Because you really can't get rid of them.
No, you can't.
You can't as much as you want to. Now, the word no is always looked as negative, and I can see that. You know, nobody wants to say no and hurt their kids, you know, send them into a tantrum because they didn't get what they wanted. But yet, that is also very important because it keeps us humble. You know, along down the line, because I've seen, you know, I was told no a lot, and I'm okay.
Yeah,
you know, I don't
freak
out if I don't get something, you know, but there are people that say yes, 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 and then all of a sudden they got a real problem. Well, how do you get past the no being positive and use that to your advantage?
Use no with a purpose. Use no with a purpose for yourself. Know why you're saying no. Don't just say no to say no, but it's definitely empowering. But know with a purpose, like, hey, would you like to go out tonight? Well, no, because I have to do prison ministry tomorrow. I need to prepare tonight. I have things I need to do to make sure I do a good job tonight. So I have a reason for saying no. I'm not just being a jerk. You know, I'm going to actually have dinner with some friends. But I was like, we have to do it early because I want to be in bed by like 9, 10 o'clock. You know, I mean, it's true. So learning how to say no with that intent and always know your why.
That's right.
And if you know your why, I don't think no is so hard to say. We're really having fun with these words here.
I got used to saying no, and I never did. You know, I was always like, yeah. And then before I knew it, I was drained.
Yeah.
I was completely drained, and it's like, I want to help you. You know, but and you do have good intentions, but sometimes if you're not healthy enough or you're not strong enough at this point in time to help somebody or in the right situation, then you're not going to help them either.
It's just like that oxygen mask in the airplane, right?
Yeah.
You're not breathing. How can you help anybody else?
That's right.
So if we always are depleting ourselves and saying yes, 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 and doing for others, when is there time for you, Jason? What does Jason want?
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's a big part of the reset is we don't ask ourselves, like, well, what do we want? You know, what makes us happy? And I think if you were to ask someone, a lot of times they can't even answer that. You know,
you're right.
What do you like to do?
You're completely right.
And they're kind of like stumped. And I can tell you, I would say I like to sleep sometimes because I don't get enough of it.
Me either.
I'd love to go to yoga again in my lifetime, and I just can't ever make it lately. So, you know, it's like you need to also ask yourself this question.
So you also do a lot of touring and around and talk to people and ministering. Tell us a little bit about this prison ministry that you're doing, and what are your goals for this particular conference that you're doing?
Our goal is to share, you know, encouragement, faith, character development, love, kindness, and most importantly, the tools, because we want them to stay out, and we want to help lower recidivism rates. And the interesting thing is this all ties together through my book Reset and then my children's series, The Adventures of Seshi and Bello, because in March I have a new book coming out called Hugs Are Happy, in which I'm donating to schools, hospitals, and I always donate a book to whatever prison I, go and do ministry at anyway. But my hope for that is that so many prisoners are illiterate or have a very low reading level. So by sharing literacy with children, it's such a gift. And then my hope is that the gift of literacy will pass down generation to generation, just like illiteracy does.
Right.
Because that's what happens. And so they all tie together because we're sharing love and kindness. I want to share the gift of literacy And in hope by doing that, it'll lower recidivism rates in the future too.
It's amazing how many people can't read, and I didn't realize that myself.
Yeah.
And I don't know how people get out of school and are unable to read.
I know.
How do you pass?
Because now especially now, from what I've heard, is that there's that rule they just can push you through. And it's not good because I can't imagine not being able to read. It must feel so, you must feel just like lost and blind and, just completely like out of it. And I think it's probably like shameful too. Because you want to know how to read.
Oh, of course.
And people have a lot of times just some learning disabilities that if someone would just take the time to help them, they could break through that barrier.
That's right.
Yeah. So, I love what you're doing with your show, though.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me on.
No problem. This has been a lot of fun, and it's gorgeous here.
Thank you for having me in such a beautiful place. I've never filmed anywhere so beautiful.
Not a problem. Please tell everybody how they can find your book or contact you in case they have any questions or they want you to speak.
So they can find my book, Reset, or they can find my children's series, The Adventures of Sashi and Bello, on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and you can also get them off of my website. There's links on my website. And that website is JacquiPhillips.tv. It's JacquiPhillips.tv. And definitely message me if you have any questions, or if you would like us to do ministry in your town, or donate a book to your pediatric hospital or school. I'm happy to do so. I can just send that PDF right over. So...
Well, Jacqui, thank you for being so much fun and teaching us stuff, because this is obviously very important for us, too, because sometimes we feel like we don't know what to do and how to get out of the situation, so hopefully that book will help a lot of people.
Thank you, and I want to encourage our audience to not forget, the more they love themselves, the more love they can share with others. And that's what it's all about. Reset.
Well, guys, we're going to be right back after this, and we got more, so don't go anywhere.
Thank you.
Jason Dowd of Imagination Art Studios is proud to announce the release of his steampunk collection, which is currently on tour across the country. There you will see beautiful handmade masks from Venice, Italy that accentuate beautiful women to create amazing stories and feelings to those who visit the collection. Each photo series has a theme, mask, authentic props, and beautifully elaborate outfits, all collaborated in the mind of Jason Dowd to create the right emotion and feeling. The masks come from a shop at Epcot at the Italian Pavilion, where all these photos are on display for you to see. This is one of the biggest accomplishments of his career, having his work at Disney. Come see the beautiful first release of the series, which includes Distressed Dancer, Spanish Serenade, The Pied Piper, and Reaching for the Stars. You can see them in person or online at www.imaginationartstudios.com. For more information, visit the website. Again, it's imaginationartstudios.com. Our Facebook is Imagination Art Studios, Twitter is @Dowd Studios, and Instagram is @JasonDowd. Come and be mesmerized by the masks and the stories behind them. Welcome back, everybody. We are going now to Hollywood Studios, Florida to meet our next guest. And the reason why we're going to Hollywood Studios is because it has a very specific meaning to our next guest, which is Jennifer McGill, who is a part of the Mickey Mouse Club. The reason being is that the Mickey Mouse Club was filmed at Hollywood Studios in Orlando. And she's got a lot of stuff to share. Now, this is going to be a little bit different because to see the whole interview, you're going to have to go check out the AME Experiences A Day in the Life of to see the rest of the show, where she takes you around Hollywood Studios and shows you some of the hot spots that she remembers from her days at the Mickey Mouse Club. But we're going to be talking to her about her brand new CD called Unbreakable, and she's going to be talking to us about her faith and how it helped her music, and we're going to be having a lot of fun. So we will get you, if you check in the description of the show, you will see the link to the Day in the Life of to see the whole interview. But Jennifer McGill is an amazing person. I had so much fun talking to her, and what a experience it was to live my childhood watching one of the people I saw on TV show me around. So we're going to go to Hollywood Studios now to talk to Jennifer McGill, and we'll be right back after that. All right, so now we're going to be talking about the newest part of your life endeavors, which is your brand new CD that just dropped.
Yes.
Tell us about this CD.
The CD is 16 songs long if you get the deluxe, the CD or the deluxe digital version. And it is a cross-section of my faith journey really from the time of the new Mickey Mouse Club into now being 40, I've traveled a lot of spiritual road, a lot of emotions. And so I co-wrote all of the new songs, and I've covered like 5 worship songs. Oh no, there's shots fired! We're right by Indiana Jones, which I love because my CD is all about spiritual warfare, battling, and there's definitely some stunts that were pulled in my life that I talk about on the CD. Nice battle tank behind us. So it's all about being a warrior, being spiritually strong, really fighting to defeat the fear in your life, to live full of faith. Lots of F's, I guess. You know, it is faith-filled, and it's very pop inspirational music.
Is it hard to stay faith-based, basically because everybody's being completely attacked now for their faith, depending on what it is?
It's absolutely the opposite journey for me. For so long, I didn't know how to deal with faith. I didn't know where faith belonged in my life, and because of that, I really let the world beat me down. Like a lot of the standards of showbiz, a lot of my peers or other entertainment aspects, I really let a lot of negativity prevail in my life. Sort of the trappings of this kind of showbiz life, or being a career kid, being a young kid star. It was very dangerous when you're letting everybody else tell you who you are. But now, because I went through really dark times and I saw how much faith has changed my life, there is no other way to do it. It doesn't matter what kind of persecution happens. This is the way that I know I'm going to glorify God and be the best and most purpose-filled person that I can be. So there's no looking back now. There's no turning back from my faith.
You really can't. And, you know, I didn't realize it myself as I've gone through my stuff. And it is amazing how God works. And people keep saying, you know, oh, God doesn't help me, God doesn't do this. Have you really opened up your eyes to what He's given you, what you've avoided, or what He's given you right in front of your face that you maybe didn't take?
Right.
You know?
And there's a very easy correlation between being a child star and everything being about you, right? But in the rest of the world, in like the people who aren't like show kids, we can also think about everything is about us. And something that, you know, God taught me is that it's not all about me. Just because I follow Him, it doesn't mean that life is going to be perfect. But through the mistakes as well as the best things, when you let God work through your life, that's actually the best service that you can give Him. And you've got to ask yourself, your path with God, is it all about you or is it all about God? That's where my big turning point in my faith came from, making it all about Him.
And how did that happen?
Well, I mean, it was all about me for a long time. I was consumed with the negativity of what wasn't going on in my life, the warfare, just like these bullets that we're hearing in Indiana Jones. I was consumed with what was flying at me, with how I was being attacked, and all the negativity in my life and what I didn't have. And I did not allow God to show me what I did have in Him, in this world, in my gifts, in my purpose, until everything was stripped away. Almost even my last name. Almost everything in my identity was taken away from me because I made choices without God. And when I was at my rock bottom and I said, Lord, I've done everything wrong, I really confessed my mistakes and how I didn't want to live without Him anymore, without being in the center of my life, that is when my life changed, because then I made sure I checked with Him on anything and everything. And there's a different kind of peace of mind. This world is going to throw trials and tribulations. It's a broken world and nobody's perfect. But with God in the center and having Him be at the forefront of all your decision making, the peace of mind that you experience and the everyday freedoms you experience are worlds apart from anything I ever experienced before.
So tell me, because obviously the CD, like you said, it is your story.
Yes.
What song best fits you? Like, they all do, but there's always that one that's just like, okay, this is me. This is something I really want people to get over. What is that song? What's the message? And how personal is it to you?
You're right. Every set of lyrics is very personal. But I think that the song What I Know Now is really bridging the gap. I can't not react. I'm like, oh no! When I was under fire, when I was like 12, you know, that's when I first experienced all the explosions of a young child star life. What I Know Now talks about what I experienced when I was little, but then also what I know now about faith being in the middle of those types of fights or those attacks spiritually in my life. And so it bridges the gap between where it all began in my life of hardship, personally, just that emotional hardship, that spiritual hardship, and where I've come to now. So that is the big sum up, I would say. And basically I'm singing not only to my little girl self when I really felt that shift begin, that negative shift begin, but I'm also singing to any other person, young or old, anywhere in between, who's experiencing that same type of attack, telling them that there is hope. So that's my big sum up, personally.
Now, you've always had a great voice. You know, you sang in the Mickey Mouse Club. You sang probably after Mickey Mouse Club.
Yes.
What took so long between that time and now to be able to put out this record?
I think that God was keeping me from a lot of the dangers of being a star past when I was a little kid and I had my parents to protect me. I think that I was so much of an empty vessel that God knew better than to let me have what I wanted when I wanted it. I am blessed that I got to be a singer almost like undercover. I've been singing, I've sung in all the different Disney parks as well as Holy Land Experience, in SeaWorld, Universal Studios. I've sung all over the world. I've recorded for other people, I've co-written for other people, I've worshipped on platforms throughout the United States, and that's covered the last 25 years or so of my career. I've also taught others, and I'm bringing up the next generation of artists in artist development, and all of that's very fulfilling. And God allowed me to stay in the business and to keep my craft going and to do what I love, but under the radar, showing me that it's not all about me and it's not all about fame, that I can do what he wants me to do without the world knowing about it. It's just as special if it's for him. It took so long because I was so stubborn. It took so long because it took the right executive producer to come along and say, you know what, this is worth investing in. Because I'm not ambitious enough to have done it all by myself. And I think now through this album, I do feel more ambitious to tackle the next EP and the next EP, and to keep giving music for the glory of God and not for the glory of fame.
Do you think that maybe it took also this time and you had to go through these experiences because God wanted to use you as a example for other people?
Yes, I would say that whether it's my mouseketter friends, the Mickey Mouse Club fans looking in on my life, or it's my family and friends, even my husband, I would say that there is a big difference between how I used to think and how I think now. And to see the trials and tribulations and how my mistakes as well as God's grace has shaped my life, I think that can only take time and trial and error and healing, and then doing a better thing the next time. I mean, it takes living that example. It basically living that example through my life and then through my music. I wouldn't have had this kind of album had I not been a hot mess for a minute.
We all got to be a hot
and
mess.
Been an example for other people,
Yeah.
So yes, nowadays I'm unashamed to talk about the mistakes and the hot messes of my life, because I want people to understand that nobody's perfect and that there is always grace, there's always hope. As long as you have breath in your lungs, you have a renewal of your identity and a renewal of your purpose through God.
And it is forgiving. So even if you do get off the track again, which it will happen, more likely, so
that's right.
We're human.
Something else I like to talk about is that, the album's called Unbreakable. And there's a difference between living in a broken world and being broken, being open and vulnerable in the presence of God, and how he puts us back together to live an unbreakable life. If we're vulnerable and open where God is concerned, we are strong and armored up in the life that we're living in this broken world, right? It's the difference between you can do it scared, you have fear, but living a fearless life means that you see that fear and then you deal with it spiritually instead of letting it win. We don't let this world win. We don't let fear win. That's how you live an unbreakable life, and that's how you live fearless. That's what my album talks about.
And something, you probably have to go through some of these trials and tribulations, because when you do come out and talk about your faith to anybody, especially people that don't believe, my gosh, I'll tell you what, that is a war. and they can attack you like crazy, but you got to be strong inside to be able to accept that that's their opinion.
That's right.
But not let it break you.
I think that if you talk about God only from a knowledge standpoint, a learned, educated standpoint, I think that you're missing the point of connecting with someone else. I think that to live an imperfect life and to see how God can show up and mold that life into something for His glory is the only way to really show the example of God's love to someone who hasn't met God yet. And so yes, I think it's extremely impactful, and almost I would say it's necessary. You can't live without a personal story of how God has touched your life and be able to have a conversation with someone who's still feeling that kind of thing out, like still is a seeker. That's what this album is all about. That's why it's now that this album is coming out, because I have the stories to back up the healing and the rejuvenation, the restoration that I've had in my life. You have to go through some stuff to really have the attention of anyone,
Yeah, you do.
And to tell your story and make it count,
So, Unbreakable's out. You've been touring, obviously putting on some concerts and stuff for people.
Yes.
How can people find the CD, and how can people see you in concert if you have anything? And you also are a vocal coach.
Yes.
So if you want to learn how to sing, not sing like Scuttle, like I do, but sing like an actual human being should sing, she can help you do that. How can they find out about all the stuff that you got going?
That's right. Okay, so first, www.jennifermcgill.com. That's where you can go for all things Unbreakable. I have an online store where you can buy the CD, and the CD is the only place where you have the full credits of all the production of every song. If you buy the download card that's also offered in the website, you'll get the lyrics to all of the songs attached to your digital downloads. There's also just the basic digital download, there's iTunes, there's also Amazon. So if you Google Jennifer McGill Unbreakable, you're gonna find it on one of those large music platforms. If you want to get in touch with me personally, I have a public Facebook page that I run. If you message me, it is coming to me. You can ask me about vocal coaching. You can book me for gigs, but also through my website, there will be a way to book me officially for anything. I would love to come worship at your church. I would love to come give a talk about my life, about living an unbreakable life, about living fearless. I'm also on all those social medias. I've got @the Jennifer McGill Instagram, @the Jen McGill Twitter, and Facebook. I already talked about it. YouTube. I'm going to put a lot of new content on YouTube from my 2017 Pledge Music campaign. So if you subscribe to my YouTube page, just Jennifer McGill YouTube, you can see the Unbreakable video, as well as all of the live performances I've logged on there so far.
Now, before we go, I'm going to do a magic trick because we're going to make we're going to make your album appear for everybody to see.
Oh gosh, do I need to get ready for this?
Yes, you do. So, okay, I'm going to hold out my hand.
All right, hold on. I have to really find it.
And I'm gonna make
Not
this.
ready.
I'm gonna make this thing just pop up, right?
Okay.
So here we go. I'm gonna sprinkle it with pixie dust because we're here at Disney World. So here it comes. Oh, look! Here it is. Oh my gosh! Look at that! It's right here. Do you believe that?
It's amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing. And now I'm gonna make it go away. So that is her CD.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna actually get the whole thing. I'm not gonna make it just appear. She's gonna ship it to you, obviously, safely.
Yes.
And guys, really cool. She also will autograph it for you too.
Yes, there's an option. Make sure you read all the fine print. Make sure you choose the option that I can autograph it and personalize it. Yeah, that'd be fabulous. I would love to do that.
Well, Jen, thank you for coming out here and spending this amazing day with us, showing us some amazing things about your past, learning about Hollywood Studios. Hopefully you guys will be able to check this out because I try to document it pretty good.
Yes.
And I wish you all the best on your CD and any other CD that you have coming out and everything else you have going on in your life.
Thank you. Well, I hope to see you guys real soon at one of my social media platforms, and this has been amazing.
A lot of fun.
Yes.
So until next time, guys, we'll see you then.
Limo Bob builds, sells, and rents the world's finest, longest, and most exotic limousines in the world. We provide every imaginable vehicle, from a 4-passenger town car to a 10-passenger Bentley Rolls and a Hummer for $20. We even have a one-of-a-kind 727 jet limo. And we offer a complete consulting package where Limo Bob comes to your location and shares 3 decades of experience in 3 days with you. Call 708-945-LIMO and visit limobob.com.
All right, guys, we are back, and we are ready to close out the show. I hope you had a great time with us, got to go explore some new things, and met some amazing people along the way. And we have another show coming out really soon here with 2 great authors I think you guys are going to really enjoy. Powerful messages, absolutely powerful messages, and a great story, too. So tune in for that. Now, again, you can check out our website, www.theamemagazine.com. Go there whenever you get a chance. Follow us on social media networks, and we will see you again next week on the road. Keep those creative juices flowing, everybody. Good night.
Like, OMG, you were on TV and junk.